Hi, welcome back. As we continue on with our primary source review, we're still on period 9, and today we're going to be tackling the theme America in the World with the Berlin Wall speech from 1987 by Ronald Reagan. So here's the text of it. It's a little bit longer than the other ones, but let's go through it. We hear much from Moscow about a new policy of reform and openness. Some political prisoners have been released. Certain foreign news broadcasts are no longer being jammed. Some economic enterprises have been permitted to operate with greater freedom from state control. Are these the beginnings of profound changes in the Soviet Union? Or are they token gestures intended to raise false hopes in the West or to strengthen the Soviet system without changing it? We welcome change and openness, for we believe that freedom and security go together, that the advance of human liberty can only strengthen the cause of world peace. There is one sign the Soviets can make that would advance dramatically the cause of freedom and peace. General Secretary Gorbachev, if you seek peace, if you seek prosperity for the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe, if you seek liberalization, come here to this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. President Reagan. And the theme, like we said, is America in the World. The College Board's explanation of this theme is that it focuses on the interactions between nations that affected North American history in the colonial period and on the influence of the United States on world affairs. So the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union is certainly going to influence American history. And this oppositional stance that we had with the democratic capitalist United States versus the communist authoritarian Soviet Union is being reflected in Ronald Reagan's speech here when he's talking about the repressiveness and the censorship that is now starting to go away with the reforms that Gorbachev is putting in place. So really quickly, here's our attribution. In his 1987 speech in Berlin, President Reagan urges the Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to continue his reforms in the USSR and help end the partition of Germany, symbolized by the Berlin Wall. All right, the first of our different analysis topics, this historical situation. Remember, we're looking at anything that's going on in this time period that's going to yield to the creation of this document. So Reagan's speech comes at the end of the Cold War when Gorbachev was beginning to experiment with reforms like glasnost and perestroika to help the Soviet economy. Reagan took the opportunity to take a more aggressive tone and demand an end to Soviet influence in Eastern Europe. So notice there, I included the actual key terms, the glasnost and perestroika, which Reagan is referencing in his speech. That's something that the College Board graders are going to look at. For audience, Reagan's direct audience was West Germany. He's giving the speech outside of the Brandenburg Gate at the Berlin Wall. But Gorbachev would have been informed of the speech and Reagan's travel to Europe. Knowing this, Reagan tried to increase the pressure on the Soviet Union and telegraphed to the rest of Eastern Europe that the U.S. would be an ally in shedding Soviet influence. So again, we're talking about how the audience of the speech is going to influence Reagan's tone or Reagan's message. For purpose, his purpose behind the speech was to bring about a quicker end to the Cold War. Since 1945, the Cold War had cost the U.S. resources, attention, and human lives. Ending it was a priority for Reagan. So here for the analysis, I'm saying why this is a purpose behind Reagan's speech. He wants to end the Cold War quickly. And the purpose behind that is because the United States has already spent too much money, too much attention, too many lives. And finally, for perspective. Reagan's perspective is heavily influenced by the democratic government and capitalist economy of the United States. Therefore, he will oppose any form of government that is repressive or authoritarian in any way. Notice again, for the perspective, I'm drawing on one piece of Reagan's identity, and I'm talking about how that one piece of his identity is going to influence the message or influence the tone that he takes in this document. Alright, so thank you for watching this. We're going to continue on with these primary sources. Please come back for the next one, and I'll see you then.